Hey, what's up, guys? So in this episode, we're going to be talking about tools and ways to work on your motorcycle. We've got two separate motorcycles here. Some of them require separate tools, but being both Japanese bikes, the nice thing about that is they do have a lot of crossover with tools goes. So most important thing is you want to be able to change flats and work on simple maintenance items in the event that you have a breakdown. So on these motorcycles, I like to carry a toolkit, and I usually have it pretty readily available. Nice little tool roll here. And again, also being able to air up tires. This is a basic hand pump. I do carry an electric pump as well, but the basic hand pump is really all you need in an emergency situation. Also carrying tubes like your front tire, one's for your front tire and one's for your back tire. In a pinch, if you had to just carry one tube, you can always carry just a front tire. And if you had to put it in the rear, it would work for a short amount of time. But let's get into the toolkit. In this toolkit, I like to have just about everything I need, like I said, for simple maintenance. So I've got tire irons for changing tires, to breaking the bead, getting the tube out. And then again, I've got my air pump and all that as well on the bike. Simple hand tools. Zip ties really come in handy for not only securing things to the bike, but when something simple breaks, or maybe you lose a fuel line or whatever, you can always zip tie it back on to keep it tight. I carry a polymer ratchet, so really lightweight ratchet. You can get this at like Harbor Freight. We're not talking real expensive tools here. Something that'll just get you by. And then I have a range of combination wrenches. So anywhere from an 8mm up to a 14 is what's pretty much common on most of these motorcycles. You don't need to carry a massive toolbox for these, because on these motorcycles, most of the bolts are anywhere in that 8mm to 14mm range. And if it's bigger than that, something like a adjustable wrench will get you by, or a pair of pliers. I do carry a little assortment of sockets in here as well, and I also carry some extra nuts and bolts and screws. That way, if you do lose one on here, something rattles loose, these things are off-road, they're getting vibrated all the time. Then if you lose a nut or lose a bolt, I have extras just in case. Blue Loctite. This is like something that you need to carry all of the time, because as you change parts out on this motorcycle, you do maintenance, you change tires, you clean your carburetor, any of those types of things, having blue Loctite to make sure that those screws and those bolts are going to back off. So basically what I would suggest is, while you're home and you're in your garage, you're doing oil changes, stuff like that on your motorcycle, you're changing your wheels, your tires, your suspension, anything that you can do in your garage, try to use this toolkit. That way you know that when you're out in the field that you're able to use this toolkit to get anything done that you would normally get done. Obviously, catastrophic breakdown like a blown motor, things like that, you're not going to be able to fix with this toolkit, nor are you going to have the parts with you to fix it anyway. You'll just have to figure out a way to tow the bike out. Oh, that does remind me, I do carry a tow strap as well, so that's also a great thing to have. It needs to be somewhere in the 20-foot range just for safety issues, and there's a variety of tow straps out there, but carrying a tow strap is also a essential tool, especially if you're riding with more than one person, because obviously it doesn't do you any good if you're by yourself. But that pretty much wraps up tools.
What is the minimum tool count? Is it like a 16-piece kit, or is there even a recommended amount of tools that you need?
Yeah, I don't really count a number necessarily. Like I said, as you do your maintenance in your garage, build your toolkit that way. There are some toolkits out there. There's different brands that you can buy that are already built. Sometimes those tools are going to be, you'll have tools that you don't even actually need in those kits. So a lot of times it's bike specific. If you ride multiple bikes and you want to change that kit every time, great. If not, you want to carry a large one that covers all your bikes. It's really going to be dependent on what you're riding and what kind of maintenance you do on your motorcycle.
Where is that toolkit from, that tool roll?
This tool roll right here is actually from Rocky Mountain ATV. It's pretty cool because it actually has a little magnet pad here for all your little, your tools. They don't get lost here in the sand. But it also rolls up nice. It's got a little zipper pouch like I showed here. Rolls up nice and snaps in. Heavy duty Cordura, so it's not going to vibrate and your tools aren't going to rub holes in it. So that's a nice one. Very inexpensive, honestly. Everything from Rocky Mountain, they do a good job of keeping the price low. But again, there's tons of other brands out there. When it comes to changing tires, you need a minimum of 2 spoons to get a tire on and off. And these are actually pretty neat. These are made by Motion Pro. You can drive this one in and then drive this underneath there and push it down to break the bead on a tire, which a lot of times can be really kind of a pain in the butt. But I will do a tire changing video in the future on how to change a motorcycle tire in the field. It's not that hard. Changing a tube, you have to remove the tire, but if you're lucky enough to ride a motorcycle that is tubeless, sometimes it's simple as just a plug. So there's tons of different variety of options out there to fix tires, but I'll do a full video on that as well.